Greetings fellow warriors and welcome back to another Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord video. Today we're doing something a little bit different again, and that is looking at one particular mod that you've probably never played with but absolutely should. And that is the Banner Kings mod by Thrasher. Now I know, this mod has been out for like, what now? 1 month or so, but I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, and to be fair, this mod absolutely deserves more attention. Banner Kings is a suite of features to deepen the non-combat gameplay. Included are population groups, feudal titles, village projects, settlement management overhaul and much more, says the brief overview of the mod. But as always, I'm gonna do a pretty deep dive into the new intricate systems that the mod offers, so sit back and enjoy while I tell you everything you need to know about the Banner Kings mod for Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord. Banner Kings is heavily inspired by Crusader Kings as well as other Paradox games. The mod's purpose is to add layers of gameplay and depth to non-combat gameplay, mostly around the settlement management system that Bannerlord can offer. The mod adds a fully fledged population system with 4 different social classes, each fulfilling a different function. These classes being slaves, commoners, craftsmen and nobles. Slaves are the main generators of building power. They also produce a small amount of tax and food to feed themselves. Commoners' main responsibility is the food production. Craftsmen provide a significant tax output, consume a moderate amount of food and can be leveraged to increase the settlement's building power. And lastly, nobles provide the largest tax revenue of all the classes and are the only ones to produce influence. There's also a plethora of new settlement stats such as stability and manpower that will affect your settlement in different ways. Stability is the stat that shows how well your settlement is generally doing. Its main purpose is economical development and cultural acceptance, but it will also impact other stats. Every day a target stability is calculated and the stat will change a bit towards that target, again, depending on how well the other stats of the settlement are. Still in the sense of settlements, new policies and decisions allow for a much more precise control of your settlement. Policies have multiple choice management options. Each one of those may be a variation of the others, such as different tax policies or unrelated options like workforce policies. An example for a very intricate system that comes with it is the criminal policy, which dictates what happens to prisoners. For that we have 3 different sub-options to choose. The enslavement option retains the normal ransom payment for prisoners. Prisoners are added to settlements as slaves. The execution option, as you guessed it, eliminates these prisoners. The forgiveness option returns them to a settlement of the same culture as serfs. The execution and forgiveness option have dynamic loyalty impacts based on whether the dominant culture is the same as yours or not. Regarding decisions, some of them include the encouragement of the militia forces or allowing slaves to be exported. The militia one will push the militia production up to its cap, which is based off of the total population size. Allowing slaves to be exported may create a slave caravan daily to export surplus slaves from towns to villages, in order to avoid excessive negative loyalty impacts from having too many slaves. There are also new settlement actions that we can perform, which have different purposes. You can serve as a mercenary guard, paying little, training combat skills, but you might get hurt over time. You can also train guards, which requires at least 50 leadership and a combined 160 points in all your combat skills. This gives you leadership and combat skills XP. You can also go hunting. This requires the hunting rights policy to be enacted or being the settlement owner. Your rewards will be some fur and meat. And lastly, you can meet the nobility, which adds influence and increases charm XP. Another system that this mod adds are new traveling parties, just like in Populations of Caradia. These are mostly the same, but I like to have all the information in one concise video, so here we go. There are 4 new different traveling parties that inhabit the world of Caradia. Slave caravans consist of soldiers that transport slaves from towns to villages, and you might notice that these now have entirely new village projects, which we will talk about later. Traveling serfs are a group of commoners that migrate between towns. They carry simple goods and food and have minimal defense. Traveling craftsmen are less numerous than serfs. They carry industrial goods as well as crafting materials like ingots. They are the only party to carry these materials in the game. Traveling nobles are the rarest kind of travelers. They have high defense and carry luxurious goods such as spices and jewelry. This mod also introduces, like I already mentioned, new village projects. Entirely new buildings can now be constructed, which fulfill different purposes, such as slowing down raids, increasing militia, and the production output of goods. Some buildings are universal, others specific to the village type, like for example, you can build smithies in villages that produce iron. There's also been some recruitment changes. Castles are now populated with notables, whose recruits can be bought just like in villages or big settlements. Noble recruits now spawn for every noble that has a high power level. Previously, noble troops spawned for a specific notable type. It didn't really matter how high his influence was. Now we have a much more dynamic system in place that determines which notable produces noble troops. Not only do villages come with new decisions and policies, the factions itself now have different laws as well. First up we have the succession laws in every faction. Vlandia and the Aserai belong to the hereditary monarchy. The leadership of these kingdoms remain with the dominant clan. The faction leader will be the leading clan's leader, as per the clan's inheritance law. There won't be any elections. Britannia, Crusade and Sturgia belong to the elective monarchy. Clan leaders will vote on the next monarch, just like in vanilla. The Southern and Western Empire belong to the imperial law. A new emperor is appointed by the previous one. Emperors are chosen based on several criteria, including their age, their clan's fame and the personal skills of management and leadership. There will be no elections as well. And lastly, the Northern Empire are the Republicans. A new faction leader is elected from all the available clans. They have yearly elections and the new leader may not be the same as the previous leader. Leaders are chosen based on several factors including their age and clan's fame. There are also new inheritance laws, where either the eldest blood family member is chosen to inherit one's clan, or the youngest blood family member, or the oldest clan member, regardless of blood ties. So you're wandering through Calradia, passing by your local farmers, traveling craftsmen and noble parties, but what's this? Lords now have new shiny and proper feudal titles, and oh my god, it's beautiful! Yes my friends, this mod introduces titles that mirror the feudalism system and works much like in Crusader Kings. These titles represent the legal ownership to a domain. They follow this hierarchy: lordship for villages, barony for castles, county for towns, dukedom for a collection of counties and kingdom for a collection of dukedoms. Every title has a de jure, so legal owner, and a de facto, so the actual owner. In many cases, these may or may not be the same person. Once you conquer a settlement, you become the de facto owner of that title, but you do not legally possess it, as it was taken by force rather than inheritance or other legal means, and that will have implications. The new titles imply a vassal relationship. Previously, all lords were treated the same in a faction other than the king. Now though, they are lords and vassals of each other. Each lord now has a council, which is composed by court members. The court is composed by notables of your settlements, your direct vassals and family. Currently, the council is made out of 4 different positions: Chancellor, Steward, Marshal and Spymaster. Each filled position brings passive bonuses to your settlements. The effect of these passive bonuses is based on the council member's competence, calculated from his or her personal skills based on the requirements for the job. And the last feature that I want to talk about today is elevating companions into knighthood. Companions now have to be knighted and require a significant investment before they can act like nobles. Knighting a companion requires gold, 150 influence, being part of a kingdom and having at least a tier 2 clan. It also requires the legal ownership of any title higher than lordship, as well as a lordship title will be given to the knight. A knighted companion is able to raise a retinue and will pay for his own expenses, and the best part, the AI will also make use of this system, meaning you will see several more heroes with soldiers on the map. These systems are everything that I imagined Bannerlord will have initially, and they're flawlessly integrated into the game. It just feels like this mod could have been in the vanilla game, and I'm honestly shocked at how this mod didn't get the attention it totally deserves. In the future, the author will add even more features like a fully fledged religion system, a large-scale invasion scenario on the continent, warbands on the map and guilds. So I'll definitely bookmark the Nexus mod page and check back every now and then to see all the new and exciting stuff this mod has to offer. And yeah, I guess that is it for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please hit that like button. It would help out tremendously and show me that you want to see more content like this in the future. Or maybe even subscribe to the channel. That would really make my day. Join my Discord server where you can talk with me and other like-minded people about all kinds of stuff. And I'll see you all in my next video. Become a warrior today, warriors, and bye.